Michelle Abraham has everything you need to know, from local eats and celebrity interviews to trending topics and more. Right now on Good Day Stateline.
Hi and welcome to Good Day Stateline. It's Tuesday, November 14th. I'm Michelle. Thanks so much for being here tonight. We are so excited to kick things off with a special Insta Chat with the one and only Deborah Roberts. Hi, Deborah. How are you today?
Oh my gosh, nice to see you. Happy to be with you.
Yeah, so you've done so many impactful things throughout your career, and now you've brought us this book called Lessons Learned and Cherished about teachers that changed your life and the lives of so many other wonderful celebrities and journalists. What inspired you to write this book right now?
I have a teacher whom I highlight in the book who sort of got me thinking about this, Mrs. Dorothy Hardy, my sixth grade English teacher, who was just a tough taskmaster. She was the classic English teacher who dressed with perfection. She was prim and proper, and she was very demanding with grammar and poetry and diagramming sentences when we used to do things like that. And I have such fond memories of her and how she really sort of believed in me and thought that I was a smart girl. And I would share that story from time to time, and other people would light up talking about their stories of teachers. So juxtapose that with the place that we are right now, where as a journalist, I was acutely aware of the idea that teachers right now are experiencing a morale crisis. There's Mrs. Hardy right there, and I got to connect with her much later in my career. But when I started hearing that teachers are leaving the profession in record numbers. They don't want to necessarily join the ranks of Mrs. Hardy. There I am with one of my teachers, Mrs. McKenzie, back when I was a kid. I mean, so many of us have these fond memories, but teachers aren't feeling that right now. They're not feeling that love. And I thought maybe this is a time to talk about what teachers mean to us, that they matter, and to share some stories and to highlight them during a time when they can really use and embrace themselves.
Absolutely. I love the way you told the story about your teacher in this book. And it's so easy for anyone to understand because these chapters, these stories are nice and short. You can just read one maybe on your lunch break or before you go to bed or when you wake up and feel inspired, like you said, to think about your own teachers that have made an impact on you, because we've all had so many teachers, and the few that pushed us to do either what we do for a living or something else that just impacted us so much. Those teachers made a huge impact. We spent so much time with them growing up.
And some of them were not necessarily easy teachers. And that's what I loved about it, the experiences that many people recounted. Some of them were warm and fuzzy stories. And then some of them were about teachers who were really difficult and tough. And maybe the student at the time gave them a hard time. But now they look back on it and they realize that teacher really inspired them. Melody Hobson, who is the businesswoman, the renowned businesswoman, said to me, I learned grit from my teacher because she realized I could take it, that she could be tough on me. And when I look back on that story, I look fondly on that story. So there were so many different stories, whether they were happy, go lucky stories or whether they were stories of difficult times. Will Reeve, who is the son of Christopher Reeve, the actor who passed away years ago, and his mom, Dana Reeve, whom I worked with, told a great story about his teacher kind of standing in the breach after his parents had passed away. And it was a story that moved me to tears, hearing him talk about the profound impact that teacher had, and still, Mr. Barrett still has on his life. In fact, Will reconnected with him recently and shared a photo of the two of them. So I hope, if nothing else, people will have conversations with, if there's a teacher who's still around in their lives, or just a conversation about teachers and the importance of highlighting them and uplifting them during this very difficult time right now in the education system.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking to you on a Tuesday, because on Tuesdays we actually Zoom with a local teacher here in the area and kind of get to know them a little bit better. And so it works perfectly as we talk about your book, because we want to do what we can do, right, to make these teachers feel loved and see how important they are to the students and the families of the students, and more so than that. So that's what we do, but we wanted to know what you thought other people watching might be able to do to instill that feeling in the teachers too.
I think that more than anything else, it's a conversation. We've got to have the conversation and talk to teachers. I mean, many times when we talk about military service people in our orbit, we thank them for their service. I think we need to give teachers that kind of regard. I think now and again, we need to, if you know somebody who's in the profession, you say thank you for the work that you do. I think we give them, first of all, a little bit of a heft about what they do, but also too, I think there are opportunities for you to give. There's organizations that contribute to educators teachers. There's one called Donors Choose that I got involved with, where you can actually choose on a website an item that you can help a teacher with for his or her classroom, because as we know, so many teachers dig into their own pockets to help their students and to supply things in their classroom. So that's a way you can help. And you can also use your voice too in your community with your school board to support teachers and to just, make sure that they know that the community, parents support them. I think more than anything else, it's a conversation that needs to be started. And maybe that will get us to start moving in a different direction, a more positive direction when it comes to teachers and how we value them.
All great ideas. I think we could also just get one of these books for the teacher in our life and send them that too. Thank you so much.
Buy a couple. What the heck?
Yeah, right. Buy them all. Lessons Learned and Cherished by Deborah Roberts. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Of course, my pleasure.
We'll be right back with everything you need to know about this weekend's Dancing with the Rockford Stars after your Good Day Moments.